and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But
Floyd Mayweather has once again made headlines, this time by urging Terence Crawford to abandon his highly anticipated bout with Canelo Alvarez in favor of an exhibition match against him. While the fight would be more of a spectacle than a true competition, it's unclear whether Mayweather fully grasped that reality. For Crawford, the matchup would hold no significance in terms of legacy, doing nothing to elevate his already stellar boxing record or his path to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. At best, it offers a quick payday for the former undisputed welterweight champion.
one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he, and Floyd,
is up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, was you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that.
Mayweather seems convinced that a fight between him and Crawford would generate more revenue than Crawford versus Canelo. The boxing icon is eager to settle the debate over who is the superior fighter, as Crawford's record is the closest to Mayweather's, fueling long-standing discussions about boxing's greatest of all time. While the idea of a Mayweather-Crawford showdown lingers, it may not materialize anytime soon. Crawford is still actively chasing greatness, and after working tirelessly to secure the Canelo fight, it's unlikely he would walk away from such a monumental opportunity.
Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like...
Boxing fans have drawn comparisons between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford. However, Crawford himself has never tried to undermine Mayweather's legacy. When asked about their similarities, he acknowledged Mayweather's greatness, referring to him as the king and showing immense respect for his accomplishments in the sport.
Hit and not get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters. You know,
the pound for pound top fighter in boxing right now is Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, I just truly believe he doesn't have to be under my company for me to give a guy props. I'm not like that. You know, if he's ever free.
Crawford elaborated on their similarities, admitting they share certain traits but also have notable differences. He believes he takes more risks, particularly early in his career. Crawford pointed out that the version of Mayweather in question matters, whether it's the aggressive pretty boy or the more tactical money Mayweather. The younger Mayweather was a relentless finisher, but after sustaining hand injuries, his approach changed as he moved up in weight and faced bigger opponents.
I think, you know, I take more chances,
Excuse me, Crawford?
you know, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know...
Despite their similarities, fans have debated who would come out on top in a hypothetical matchup. When analyzing both fighters, some experts have suggested that Crawford might have an edge. However, when it comes to pure boxing ability, few in history can match the technical brilliance of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. If you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was what is seek and destroy fight.
Free, and he's going to go to any company. If he's a free agent, I would love to work with him if he's free. Because I know that what I can do to take him to that next level. Because with Jim saying raw talent, hell of a fighter. There's a lot of hell of a fighters out there.
Mayweather's precision, impeccable jab, and masterful counterpunching allowed him to dismantle his opponents with ease. Over the years, he showcased his dominance through two distinct phases of his career, first as an aggressive, offensive force and later as a defensive genius who outclassed his competition.
A reach from the left hooks again. There's a lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him, and then he hit his head off it en masse here at the engine.
As Crawford himself noted, Pretty Boy Mayweather was a relentless attacker, constantly pressing forward. In contrast, Money Mayweather adopted a more calculated style, using his superior IQ to nullify his opponents. While both approaches cemented Mayweather's legacy, Crawford's recent dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. left boxing fans in awe.
Larry Holmes.
Defensive work.
Pernell Whitaker.
Chin.
Crawford's dominance against Spence was a masterclass in precision and timing. His power jab continuously pierced through Spence's guard, and his counterpunching was razor-sharp. Although Crawford has always displayed elite skill, his performance against Spence was on another level. If a prime Mayweather faced Crawford, at his best, the matchup would be fascinating. Who would establish the jab first? Who would dictate the pace? The contrast in styles would make for an intriguing chess match in the ring.
David Tour.
Footwork.
Muhammad Ali.
Matchup between the two would be incredibly difficult to predict. Mayweather was a master at luring opponents into his game, breaking them down systematically. His unmatched ring IQ and defensive brilliance earned him an undefeated record and 5 division world championships. On the other hand, Crawford's ability to read fights and adjust mid-bout has made him a 2-time undisputed champion. His speed, combined with his sharp angles and fluid combinations, might even give him an advantage over Mayweather.
Boxing IQ.
Floyd Mayweather.
Legacy.
It's many. It's more than one.
Mayweather's 50 career victories. 27 came via knockout, a stark contrast to Crawford's 40 wins, 31 of which ended in stoppages. And Crawford is still active. His destruction of Spence, where he dropped him 3 times before securing a 9th-round TKO, showcased his raw power. Mayweather's defensive shell allowed him to absorb shots while countering with pinpoint accuracy. But Crawford's explosiveness could present an entirely new challenge.
Look at this defense. Unbelievable. To young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong.
You're wearing, then he's nowhere. You think you...
And again, it's not just hand quick.
While Crawford has impressive defensive skills, Mayweather took the art of avoiding punches to near perfection. Imagining how a prime version of each fighter would approach the bout is a fascinating thought experiment. Crawford would likely start aggressively, forcing Mayweather to defend while adjusting to the tempo. Mayweather, in turn, would begin dissecting Crawford's offense, landing sharp jabs and controlling the rhythm of the fight.
The movement of the head, the way he rolls with punches, but the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Terrific fight. Well, Mayweather. Oh,
However, Crawford's relentless pressure and power could make things difficult for Mayweather. While Mayweather would bank rounds with his precise boxing, Crawford's ability to land powerful shots and push the pace could sway the judges in his favor. In a razor-thin contest, Crawford's overall work rate might be enough to earn a decision win over Mayweather's technical mastery.
Canelo, they
Well,
want to see it.
Crawford cares about his life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic and makes sense and less life risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys our weight.
As a 4-division world champion, Terence Crawford has set his sights on Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight champion. However, the considerable weight difference between them presents a major obstacle for Crawford, making the matchup a risky challenge.
Booth time to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's
Former heavyweight champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his take on the potential Crawford-Canelo bout. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional skills, Jones favored Canelo, citing his superior punching power as the key factor in determining the fight's outcome.
guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
And now you want me to do something. Canelo's not coming down to 60.
No. It's Crawford who wants it. He wants the chance to prove he's the best.
I get
of
it.
This era.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
And and again, that's one of what's happening on a shakeup of the New World Order. where you got fighters that's really 54 at best.
Crawford's chances against Canelo hinge on his ability to neutralize the Mexican fighter's legendary power. If Crawford can effectively utilize his technical boxing skills while avoiding Canelo's devastating punches, he may be able to pull off a historic upset. While the idea of a Crawford-Canelo showdown excites fans, Canelo remains focused on preparing for his next bout.
Big for Crawford, I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see
William Skull, the current IBF interim champion, has been floated as a possible opponent for Canelo. Interestingly, Roy Jones Jr., a Hall of Fame boxer, trainer, and analyst, initially believed that both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could defeat Canelo. However, he has since walked back that prediction.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. And if he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand me?
That fight was done Crawford and
Crawford won a pound best fighter fight.
To take on a Canelo who can actually fight a cruiserweight and maybe give a cruiserweight, especially at this moment, all the hell they can want. If you can't hurt a guy like Canelo, and you don't have height and depth to be able to at least have something to work with, then we're going to see another, what they say, boring fight, not say a smart fight.
Super middleweight champion Benavidez has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo for over 2 years. Meanwhile, Crawford, formerly the best welterweight in the world, has expressed willingness to move up to weight classes for the opportunity to fight the Mexican star. Canelo, however, has downplayed the significance of a victory over Crawford, suggesting that it would do little to enhance his legacy even though many believe Crawford has a legitimate chance to win.
You know, being that you obviously, again, appealing Team Crawford, can you confirm? Are we going to see that fight? Has it been made official? Is it official?
It's on, baby. September 13, baby. Look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo. Listen how I said it.
Hey, are we getting this confirmation here first?
You understand? Yeah.
Someone who competed across multiple weight divisions, Roy Jones Jr. advised Canelo to stay at super middleweight as he moves forward in his career.
You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not?
Last year, Canelo Alvarez fought on September 14th, coinciding with Mexican Independence Day. It's expected that his annual September bout will take place on September 13th this year. Reports indicate that he has already reserved the T-Mobile Arena for this date, setting the stage for a potential showdown with Terence Crawford almost exactly a year after his fight against Edgar Berlanga at the same venue, which coincided with UFC Notch.
I understand the money grab. I understand it's about the bag. Crawford ain't 26. Another major network is saying they packing their bags up. You're going to see a lot of desperate moves jumping off. You're going to see a lot of very unrealistic, unorthodox, crazy thinking, crazy gossip.
You know, being that you obviously, again, appealing Team Crawford, can you confirm? Are we going to see that fight? Has it been made official? Is it official?
It's on, baby. September 13, baby. Look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo. Listen how I said it.
Hey, are we getting this confirmation here first?
You understand? Yeah, it's confirmed. Man, what?
Say less.
Crawford versus Canelo, not the other way around. Team Crawford stand up, pound for pound, the best in the world, soon to be the super.
Swirling about a possible super fight between Canelo and Crawford in 2025. Both fighters are considered among the best pound-for-pound boxers today, making the matchup a dream fight for fans. Despite aging, Canelo remains the face of boxing, but critics argue that he has been avoiding the toughest challengers, such as David Benavidez.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which
even with those criticisms, Canelo continues to sell out arenas, regardless of his opponent. The much-anticipated fight against Crawford seems all but confirmed for September 13th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. However, Canelo is unlikely to remain inactive until then. According to Boxing Scene, multiple fight dates have been booked in Las Vegas for March 22nd, March 29th, April 5th, and May 3rd, leaving speculation open for his next move.
Big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit.
Those dates, May 3rd stands out, as Canelo has traditionally fought on Cinco de Mayo weekend since 2019, with the exception of 2020 due to the pandemic. 3 of his last 5 May fights have taken place at the T-Mobile Arena, making it a likely option for his next bout. However, given the magnitude of a fight against Crawford, Canelo could opt for a longer break to stay fresh. If he chooses to fight in May, William Skull appears to be the frontrunner for the matchup, as discussions with Canelo's team have been ongoing since early this year.
Named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well, and figure out something.
34. Canelo Alvarez remains at the top of his game, but the end of his career is gradually approaching. In a recent interview with Ring Magazine, he acknowledged that while he still feels great in the ring, he expects to start considering retirement around age 38. He reflected on the tough fights he has taken throughout his career, many of which were unnecessary risks, but emphasized his love for challenges. While he doesn't dwell on his own accomplishments, his trainer frequently reminds him of the impressive list of world champions he has defeated.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's he's a little big for Crawford. And it'll be a tall task for him.
Most recent victory came against Edgar Berlanga in September 2024. Reports now suggest that his rumored bout with Terence Crawford is on the verge of becoming a reality in 2025. However, several factors must align before an official announcement is made, including contract negotiations and strategic planning by both fighters' teams. Interestingly, very few boxers.
It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has previously suggested that Mayweather resorts to exhibition fights primarily when he needs money, an accusation Mayweather has repeatedly denied. However, his recent call-out of Crawford has raised questions about his motivations. For now, the world awaits Crawford's response to both Mayweather's challenge and the unfolding details of his potential fight against Canelo Alvarez. If the bout materializes, it will be the result of Crawford's relentless pursuit of greatness. That wraps up this coverage. Stay tuned for the latest boxing news, updates, and exclusive content by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications.